Timmy, we're covering Bad Boys, and this is a great movie for us because we're known as the bad boys of podcasting. You ready?
Uh, we are? I mean, it makes sense. We talk about the Muppets every week.
Yeah, Bad Boys. That's all we're about. So Bad Boys is coming up next on the podcast.
Haven't Seen It with Bad Boys, Tim Sestito, and Tommy Tevenet. Hello, everybody. Welcome on in. Thank you all so much for listening today. This is a podcast where one of us is watching a movie for the very first time, and this bad boy, Tim, had never seen any of the Bad Boy films, and Tommy, my other bad boy, sitting with me on my podcast, as always. Tommy, what's your history with the Bad Boys franchise?
So this is my first time watching the OG Bad Boys, but I've seen two and three. I've seen two countless times. We talked about last year on the podcast how we were ready to get ready for my friend's wedding. For when we were getting dressed up with the groom, we watched Bad Boys 2, which was on TNT, and we're like, all right, we're just gonna watch all Bad Boys 2. Like, fuck it, we're winning.
And the TNT cut of Bad Boys too, mind you.
Yeah, exactly. The TNT cut of Bad Boys 2. It was great. It was a total dudes rock moment. We went for it, and then I saw Bad Boys 3 during quarantine. Vaguely remember it. It was okay. It was fine. And I saw Bad Boys Ride or Die last night. The brand new one in the franchise, the one that is resurrecting Will Smith's career after the slap. One
Yeah,
thing
yeah. Well,
it's
I think you had said that brought this up in the group chat, but I think I know exactly what you're going to say. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, first of all, this movie's made almost 300 million, 291 million so far worldwide on a $100 million budget. They're probably really happy with it. There's probably gonna be a Bad Boys 5, whether you like it or not. But best thing about this movie, Martin Lawrence slaps the shit out of Will Smith multiple times.
They
And
would have gotten a billion people in the theater if Chris Rock was like the bad guy in this and he just slaps the shit
yeah,
out of Will
that's
Smith.
what they
Like
need. Bad
that's what
Boys
they need.
5.
That's Bad Boys 5 right there. You're welcome, whoever produces Bad Boys. I think it's Columbia. Uh
Yeah, Jerry Bruckheimer.
Jerry Bruckheimer. What are your ideas here? So how did you
Yeah.
like Bad Boys 4?
So Bad Boys Ride or Die. They really shot the bed by naming the third one Forever.
Yeah, I
Um,
hate this trend in movies of like
yeah,
every sequel needs like a subtitle and it's all for search engine optimization instead of just
yeah,
being one, two, and three. Like that,
yeah.
just name it
Come on,
those,
that
please.
Bad Boys 2 was known as Bad Boys 2, and that's a movie that had mythology for because of Hot Fuzz. But anyways, Bad Boys Ride or Die, I think was just a fun little follow-up right here. It was exactly what you expect out of a Bad Boys movie. Just fun, dumb action. And I think that the direction this time between Aldi and Balali, the guys who directed Bad Boys 3, they're supposed to direct the Batgirl movie that got canceled by Zaslav. But the direction of them is just great. They're really inventive ways that like camera works and showing like gun trips and stuff like that. And they've done the first time I ever seen the action movie, the first person viewing thing of like with the gun that actually didn't feel really cringy. It actually kind of looked it's like, oh, that's actually kind of cool.
It wasn't cringy shaky cam.
No, it wasn't. It was a little better than that. So I mean, I think those two guys, they have a promising career in the action genre. They should definitely do more movies like this. I wouldn't be shocked if they end up directing Bad Boys 5, but definitely
So
recommend checking it out.
wait, who directed Bad Boy? It wasn't Michael Bay?
Michael Bay hasn't didn't direct three. He directed the guys who directed three, which is these guys, Aldi and Bilali. The other thing you might know, like I said earlier, they were supposed to direct that Batgirl movie that got canceled by Zaslav after
Oh,
his film
didn't
there.
it not even get canceled? Like it got made and then they just like it was like we probably won't earn our money back on this, so it's better if we just remove its existence for a tax write-off. Movie
Yeah.
magic, people. That is movie magic right there.
It's
Oh,
like the
thank you,
canary in the
David
coal mine of the
Zaslav.
worst thing that can happen to your movie. So that was supposed to be them. I think that would have been. I would have at least liked to see it. If it was shit or not. I mean, I think we could determine that. But anyways, they directed three and they directed Bad Boys 4. And I just like their style direction. It's just very fun, inventive stuff, and not just bombastic like Michael Bay.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. And then I know you just got back. We're recording later at night than we normally do because Tommy, you went and saw one of my favorite movies of all time in theaters.
Yeah. Best Video in Handbin. Shout out to them again. I mentioned on the podcast. They did a screening of Superbad tonight. Movie that's also near and dear to my heart. I've seen countless times over the years. And it was just great to see this movie with a big crowd again because I just think that comedies, like big screen comedies, are just so much better with a crowd because it's just so much funnier. You're hearing people like just dying and laughing their asses off right next to them. So it was great to see this. This is the theatrical cut that they screened, which I haven't seen forever because I watched the unrated cut
It-
over the years on
it-
DVD.
we were just talking about that before we started recording. Like, what a nice little like scam to make you buy a DVD to give you like
Yeah.
a minute and a half of extra footage in
Oh,
like a thing, and like one extra curse and like maybe a boob that like
yeah.
was cut out of the theatrical cut. Like they're like, this is the unrated, but like the DVDs were always outrageous. I just remember the Anchorman one, and it was like him with his shorts off and just like in his boxers, and it was like, this is the unrated version, too extreme for theaters. And I'm like, Mom, I need this right now. And she was like, I'm not buying you this Will Ferrell movie. Absolutely not. Uh,
Yeah.
that
I
was
saw.
like a mark. Now I understand it was just all a marketing gimmick to make you buy DVDs.
Oh, 100%. I mean, meanwhile, on the flip side, I somehow convinced my grandma to buy me the unrated Superbad cut in 2007.
Well, at least
That's
that one is just like three teenage dudes standing on a box. Like the Anchorman one is literally a guy in his boxer shorts, like with a glass of scotch. It's like a hard,
yeah,
hard no on that one.
yeah, exactly. I mean, my grandma was just like, "Oh, this is on his Christmas list in eighth grade. Fine, I'll get it for him."
I
But
mean, you
again,
you had seen way worse by then.
and I already saw Superbad twice in theaters at that point. So I knew what I was getting into.
My first viewing of Superbad was with good friend of the pod Ryan Davey, who created our wonderful theme song. We watched it on my parents' computer on like a shady illegal download stream site because our parents would not take us to go see the movie in theaters. So that
Yeah,
was my first, and it was the greatest experience of my life.
yeah. I
But
think that this is a movie for us. It was just like a very like coming of age moment where all of us saw this.
it comes out when you're 13 or 14 years
Yeah,
old. Like it's literally the perfect movie for that kind of coming of age, and it's genuinely one of the funniest movies.
yeah.
Like it's in my opinion the funniest movie of the 21st century, and
Oh, yeah.
I don't
I
think it's
agree.
particularly close. Because I've noticed a lot of times in comedies from the 21st century, they're funny for like the first like 60 minutes, and then the last like 30 minutes they like get serious about the plot all of a sudden, and then they're just not really funny anymore, and it's just all
Well,
plot focused.
also the problem we have these days is that movies like Superbad go straight to streaming today's culture. You know, you go to like Netflix or Amazon Prime Video. Like we had that Anne Hathaway rom com that apparently was good, but that came out this year, but went straight to Amazon now. No one's
Yeah,
talking about it.
yeah, it lacks a cultural imprint when it's like not in theaters. Like we referenced like Barbie and Oppenheimer coming out at the same time, but if those were just both dumped on HBO Max, would anybody care? Probably not.
Same thing if anyone but you. Like Glenn Powell said, like if we didn't release this in theaters, this would have had no cultural impact. Nobody would have ever talked about it. Instead, everyone's like, "Oh, this rom com that made 200 million. Like that's great."
Yeah, and you take two big rising stars, you pair them together. We talked about this. It's not, again, this isn't rocket science, but they're more worried about their taxes and financial spreadsheets instead of like giving people moments that they want in theaters. Because I don't think people are scared of going to movie theaters. I think people I funny enough, I had an Uber driver this past weekend, and he was like, "Yeah, me and my son we go to the movies every other week or so," and he's like, "But I want to make sure the movie's good." I was like, "Oh, that's like the most like striking and just to the point of like, hey, you're going to charge me $20 to go into the movie, another 15 for a soda and a popcorn at the movie theater, so I'm going to spend $45 a person to go to a movie. I want to make sure it's a good movie and not a bad movie." And I thought that was just like, wow, these companies spend millions of dollars on market research on who to put in, how do we get people into the movie theaters, and they just don't realize that it's like quality works will actually get people in there into
Yeah,
the movie theater.
yeah. I mean, like we had like all this hand wringing back in May about how like oh the box office is dead, movies are dead, because Fall Guy
and
bombed
and
and
then
Furiosa bombed.
Bad Boys comes out, and it was like,
yeah,
Oh,
maybe we were overreacting. And then Inside Out had the best opening of
yeah.
2024.
So speaking of Inside Out, I saw Inside Out too. It was a little date night this past weekend. It was cute. It was,
Now,
you
have
know,
you seen Inside Out 1?
I did, and I didn't really remember it. Just remember Phyllis was the voice of sadness, Phyllis from The Office.
Yeah.
That was like my only thing I really remembered about it. This was cute. It was fine. Like the first half an hour kind of sagged for me a little bit. I was like, okay. But then it ended really strong. Um, it's another one of the latest. I think they just hire writers to write these kids movies with high anxiety because like this is like the fourth or fifth like recent kids movie to come out that has like the apex moment of the movie be an anxiety attack. Like I know they did that in Puss in Boots, the Last Wish or whatever people were like
Yeah.
raving about, and then that did well. So every studio's like, if you're gonna make a kids movie, make sure you have an accurate depiction of an anxiety attack. Which
Yeah.
is where it comes over. Because basically the plot is the original emotions get shut out because the girls hit puberty and anxiety is taking over and trying to control their life. And then the message is that you need all the good and all the bad, and that's what makes the girl the person. You need everything about them, and you have to love them for who they are and not try to hide and diminish the bad memories and the bad moments. You need to so, had its nice Disney moment. It ended very abruptly. Like she was trying to get on some hockey team, and then like it was like they're in the cafeteria, and she just like oh, spoilers by the way.
Yeah.
But spoilers for Inside
Because I
Out
really
2
care about the plot.
because I care
Inside
about
Out
the
2.
plot.
If you're listening to Bad Boys podcast, you're like, fuck, I'm getting spoiled Inside Out 2. What the fuck, dude?
Yeah,
Oh, spoiler alert.
I got the
Exactly.
sound drop in there. It's official now. You can't get
Yeah.
mad at me on Twitter at Fire R Manfred or at Tommy's Twitter handle, which I can't remember what it is, or at Scene It Pod, which I do remember that one. Because you're like yours is what like the real T2
Something like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
your
barely,
personal one's a mess. You
my
you
personal
gotta
one's a mess. I mostly just tweet on her
and drop the
podcast to her.
drop the underscores. It's cleaner. And then but yeah, she like is trying to get on this team. Like she went to a hockey camp, like that's where the whole movie takes place. And then it just like walks, it's her at her locker. She gets like the notification. She just kind of like smiles at the camera and then it just cuts to black. And that was the end of the movie. I was like, that's a really abrupt ending. Like it hadn't even cut to black yet, and the theater lights just pop on.
You're like, what? Is that it?
Like, what? Yeah.
It's funny. I mean, Pixar really needed a win, I feel like, because since Toy Story 4, like they have almost everything just got dumped straight to streaming. Like Turning Red did.
Yeah, I wish Soul didn't. I really liked Soul. I really wish that one didn't get dumped to streaming. But then they had the one with the girl who got a period, which
yeah, that was Turning Red.
did not do well. They had
Well, they
the
didn't release that in theaters.
Yes, it did. I'm pretty sure they
was-
did. But it got review bombed anyway because people are like, "Hey, this is Disney Pixar. I don't really want my kid learning about that by you." And But yeah, Inside Out 2 and the money it's making is making me think that Pixar will be greenlighting Toy Story 5, Toy Story 6, Toy Story 7, Incredibles 3, Incredibles 4. Like they're not going to make any more original movies. Like Cars 4 is like anything that's big brand. There's going to be another Monsters Inc. probably while John Goodman and Billy Crystal are still alive. Like they got to get all these. What are these companies going to do when these people die that did all these cool things in the 80s and 90s and they're just like relying on them to come back? Like what are they going to do?
I mean, let's be real. I mean, like fucking like Bugs Bunny is a cultural institution, and they've changed the voice of Bugs Bunny times. Granted, Mel Blanc maybe didn't have the star power that like Tom Hanks does, but still, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, like they they had their Lightyear, which did shitty. They had Elemental, which I think had legs actually ended up doing pretty well.
It didn't do good initially though. It started really slow, but even Furiosa's like kicked up. It's like close to 168 million. I think it's hit its production budget at a minimum now. So it's done well enough, right? It's not.
Well, yeah. Then you have to factor in marketing. I mean, it's still a bomb.
It's still a bomb, but it's not like a. But
that's disaster.
But they used to just stick these things in theaters, Tommy, and just let it run for like 2 or 3 months, and like it would slowly just make its money back. Because like, hey, sometimes people have plans, and like Furiosa is not something that's making people avert their Memorial Day weekend plans.
Yeah.
For like your normal family of four, an R-rated prequel from a new movie that was 9 years old and a franchise that came out in the 80s. Like, yeah, man, like this is all stunning. This is all groundbreaking
I mean,
stuff here.
that's what sucks about today's like box office culture is that like everyone feels like you need to be their opening weekend to let this movie to succeed. But it's just like reality. I mean, I just talked about seeing Bad Boys 2 or Bad Boys 4 rather last night. And that was what, 3 weeks after its release, and there's still a packed audience for a Monday night screening. People
Yeah,
are still going.
I mean, Inside Out, there was no. I think it was a sold out. It was granted that we were in a smaller theater because they were. I mean, they were running that like every half an hour,
Oh
like
yeah,
in all
sure.
the theaters. But like we were in like a 70 seater, and every seat was taken.
Yeah.
So it's not super stunning to me. Um, I know that we are kind
We
of rambling here instead of going on about Bad Boys, but Bad Boys is, we like to describe off the podcast movies that do have, we call them meat on the bones,
Yeah.
and movies that don't have meat on the bones.
Yeah.
If you want to kind of get a sense of where my review might be going with Bad Boys, this movie has a little bit of meat on the bones, and that's about it. But anyway, here's Bad Boys.
Detectives Mike Lowry and Marcus Burnett
Just punch it, man. Punch it, go!
on the Miami Police Force. They don't follow the rules. They make them.
Sir.
I'm a bad boy.
Bad boys. What you gonna do?
Rated R. At theaters April 7th.
Bad Boys, an action flick starring Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. Funny enough, Martin Lawrence was the lead in this one, not Will Smith. You wouldn't have thought that. But this is a movie about two, I would call them renegade cops, except Joey Pants. He was the best part of the movie as the police chief. It's
Yeah.
just like any means necessary, take them down. And you follow a lot of nonsensical plot elements here with some pretty good action sprinkled in there that leads you to a heroin bust. Over $100 million worth of heroin was stolen from a police precinct, and there's no real repercussions in this kind of movie. It is just kind of what it is. I didn't like it. Tommy, you're the Bad Boys aficionado of the podcast. Like, you are the bad boy of the two of us for sure. Now that did you feel like you were missing a lot of lore and background having
No.
not seen Bad Boys 1, or did this flesh out the world for you after seeing Bad Boys 2, Bad Boys 3, whatever the subtitle was, and Bad Boys 4?
Not at all. I mean, like even like the most recent movie, the one I saw last night, doesn't really reference this first one. I don't remember two really referencing one at all. I don't remember three referencing one at all. So I mean, the main connection is just Martin Lawrence, Will Smith, Joey Pants, who spoiler dies in three, but then they bring him back in four. And I'm very much of a case of like, I'm very much of a case of like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't have killed off Joey Pants in three, because four just has like all this is just literally like Joey Pants clearly on a Zoom call talking to them and being like, "Hey guys, this is me. If you're hearing this message, I might be dead." And he talks for like 5 minutes, and they have like 2 or 3 different scenes of him just coming to him, being like, "So this is what's happening now, guys. Now that I'm dead, and here's where I'm going after it." And so at one point, he says, "You guys are my bad boys." So it's amazing. I mean, Joey Pants is awesome. I inadvertently had a triple feature of Joey Pants yesterday, where I started off in the afternoon watching Midnight Run, which shares a screenwriter of this movie. So George Gallo, the guy who wrote Midnight Run, originally wrote Bad Boys, and it was originally written for Dana Carvey and John Lovitz as the Martin Lawrence.
That would
and
be
Will Smith.
so Jewish. Oh my God.
Yeah. So a completely different type of vibe. Michael Bay came onto it because people knew that he was like a big like music video director. He directed like Meatloaf's "I Do Anything for Love." He directed the music video for the "I Touch Myself" song. He also did the House of Pain. Like no one helped my House of Pain.
Yeah.
So he basically got the job because he pitched to Jerry Bruckheimer and Don Simpson. Like, you need a younger director. You need to attract a younger audience, and sort of hire some old British dude that's gonna be like, right, fucking terrible. So Dana Carvey was gonna do this movie. They met Don Simpson, and Don Simpson's hard partying ways scared Dana Carvey, and he was like, I'm getting the fuck off this movie. So they didn't know what to do. Martin Lawrence was a big TV star at the time. He was signed on first. That's why he's first billed, which is the first time, the only time that's ever going to happen in the Bad Boys franchise. Then he suggested Will Smith after Arsenio Hall turned down the role. And at the time, this is really like, in a way, both their breakout movies because Martin Lawrence is known for Martin, the sitcom at the time. He was a big TV star. And then
Will Smith was a musician and a big TV star.
And
Fresh
big TV
Prince,
star,
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, so this is really like them both breaking into really movies, along with Michael Bay doing his directorial debut. And they had to change the script on the fly. They weren't really given that much of a budget to like change the script. So as you can imagine, like you said earlier, the Dana Carvey and John Lovett's version was still the script they were going off of when Will Smith and Martin Lawrence were on set filming. So like every day they'd go to set and be like, Michael Bay, Martin Lawrence, Will Smith. All right, how do we make this less Jewish? Like essentially. And this movie, like a lot of it was just like Michael Bay, like he talks about years later. He's like, the script of this movie was fucking shit. I just made Will Smith and Martin Lawrence just improvise the hell out of this movie. And that's what makes it work.
You can feel it. It is weirdly what makes it work. Because when I say this is not too far off from like some terrible direct to VHS action film of the time, like it's really not. It's really not outside of the star power of Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. Like these two are holding this movie together because this movie sucks. I'm just gonna flat out say it. I go into a Michael Bay movie, I kind of know what I'm getting into, right? But I'm trying to observe, I'm trying to watch. Nothing makes sense, and I'm not like the biggest like nitpicky plot guy. I'm not the kind of guy that's like, well, this technical difficult. I don't care about Kyle Mundy being born 100, being retconned 100 years before because some nerd wrote it on Wikipedia. That was the rage of Star Wars fans. Thank God we're not in that business, Tommy. I think we.
Yeah, we don't need a Star Wars podcast.
I think we'd end it. I think I would just end the podcast with the accolade. But anyway,
two fan bases, we don't need to touch Star Wars and Taylor Swift. That's it.
And Marvel.
We touched upon Marvel.
Yeah, well, we talk about them from the business perspective. Disney's Marvel and
movie.
we did cover an MCU movie. We covered 2 MCU movies actually. Funny enough.
Oh yeah, Doctor Strange.
Yeah, we covered.
It goes over my head. But back on Bad Boys, I mean, like, I think the thing in this movie when I'm watching this, it's delivering what I expected. I've been in this zone a lot lately of like just crazy cop movies. Like I watched Beverly Hills Cop the week before, which is also produced by Jerry Bruckheimer.
July spoiler.
Yeah, July spoiler. And then I also watched like Hot Fuzz recently, which references Bad Boys 2 heavily throughout that movie. And then I was like, all right, now I'm ready for Bad Boys, like the original. Let's go. And it was just exactly what I wanted. The dumb fucking movie of like Joey Pants just screaming at them. I mean, like I said, he's the best part of this movie. Of that one scene where he's just playing basketball for some reason. He's just talking to him, just
and
shooting
missing
hoops.
but not shooting hoops. He was shooting bricks the entire time, man.
Yeah,
He couldn't
he's
get a basket.
just shooting bricks, and he's like pissed off with them. He's just like, all right, you know what? Martin Lawrence, you're Will Smith. And Will Smith, you're still you, but you're not really you, okay? This is what's gonna happen. It's just a dumb way to script contrivance of being like, oh, this is a like mixed identity kind of plot. It's like this is so fucking stupid, but it was amazing because Joey Pants just sells it for being so fucking dumb. That's hilarious.
Yeah, this movie definitely is self-aware of how stupid it is. Which it is a point to its credit here. For me, it was just like little things. Like there was the moment where they're at the nightclub and they're chasing down the guys, and Martin Lawrence gets attacked from behind, Marcus, and like he fights the guy off and like bashes his head into a urinal and then just leaves him there instead of arresting him. Like these are kind of like standard cop procedure. Like there's no procedure in this movie. Like I don't care if they don't wear uniforms, like whatever, like fine. Like I'm talking like very simple, like hey, like we need this guy to tell us more about this drug ring. Maybe we should take him in. And he just like bashes his head in, doesn't kill him, but then leaves the nightclub.
Yeah.
And I was just
Right.
sitting there, like, what are we like? It would be one thing if they tried to like arrest him, at least take him out in handcuffs, and then they're like, the bad guys are like, "Oh, we got you." Shoot out in a nightclub, and then like he runs away or whatever when they're getting shot at. Like, okay, this that at least makes sense. Like it just little things like that that just feel like missing. It's like scattered all over the movie, and then
Yeah.
the reverse plot. So basically, Marcus is married, and Will Smith's character is not. I'm pulling up his name because Mike Lowry.
Yeah.
And basically, he has a friend who's an escort. She takes her friend Julie with them, and she gets shot. Julie escapes, and she's so hysterical she'll only talk to Mike Lowry. But Mike Lowry just lost his friend, so he just goes on a side adventure that to the house where the madam was killed, and nothing ever came from that. Like there's no resolution. They just needed Will Smith to be off the screen. She's like, I will only talk to Mike Lowry. I will only talk to him. And then so Martin Lawrence has to pretend to be Mike Lowry, goes to the house, the apartment, but his wife, and he's just trying to get some, man. He works so many late hours, man. He's just trying to get some from his wife, man, but he's just not getting any. He's
It's
just
amazing
not.
the sitcom setup immediately.
It's
like,
such a sitcom setup. It's not even good sitcom setup.
yeah,
It's
it's
bad.
like
It's like the
tropey
worst
bullshit.
It's the most tropey nonsense ever.
Yeah.
Like-
I just love how it starts with the movie of them talking in the car and being like Martin Lawrence being like, man, he's like, Will Smith's like, you're a married man, you must get like fucking like pussy all the time or anything. Martin Lawrence like, no man, I'm married. You know what that means? That means I sleep. It's just like, all right, I guess we get these characters. Martin
Yeah.
Lawrence, for whatever reason, is just like the straight and narrow or whatever. But
yeah. So, but they go to the apartment, and he's like, she'll keep him there. She's like, we're gonna take you into police custody, and she's like, no, I only want to stay at your apartment. So she stays at his apartment, and then like Mike finds out, and they have to pretend to be each other because they don't know. Like I feel like at this point being like, hey, I was just pretending to be Mike because like Mike
it's so
wasn't.
contrived.
It's such bullshit contrived. She's like, who are the pictures of all this guy? Is this your boyfriend? And he's like, whoa. Gay in the 90s? Absolutely not. No. That's not
we're
me.
not touching that. Yeah.
We're not. No. I ain't,
But
I ain't
it's so
gay.
funny.
Whoa,
It's so
no.
As dumb as it is, like again, like we said, like I just think that if it wasn't Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, like
This
Dan
movie,
Harvey and John Lovett's version would have been awful. And like not that this
it would have
movie
been
was
a
great to
different.
begin
It
with.
would have been a different script for sure.
Well, no, apparently it's exact same script.
This movie. I mean, this movie is horrible. That would be so much worse, and this one's already bad. But then he goes to his wife, who is like the least reasonable human I guess. Like, I don't know. I guess she was just written that way because she's like, you smell like perfume. You're sleeping on the couch, blah, 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 like all this stuff. And it's like, hey, like, can I sit down and talk with you? So here's the situation. We have $100 million worth of heroin. We have one witness. She will only talk to Mike Lowry. We do not know where he is. So I am pretending to talk it because she threatened to leave town. I hope you understand the situation I'm in and can respect that. And then like they just pretend to beat each other like a Freaky Friday situation. It was so
It was just
dumb.
like unnecessary.
It was so unnecessarily complicated.
Because what's so funny is that like the later Bad Boys sequels just go straight forward and like not have that complicated like
yeah, like I didn't want
suit.
that. I think that's my biggest problem. Like hearing you say that, like Bad Boys, I know it's dumb action, and that's fine. Like I can appreciate a good dumb action. Just shut off my brain, just watch some stuff explode and some lines get thrown around and call it a day. But like it's so unnecessarily complicated when it's like this is Bad Boys. Just like give me Will Smith and Martin Lawrence being bad boys. Like that's all I want.
Well, also when you're talking about the whole wife thing, I mean, like it's the whole like rom-com like people that get pissed off about, which like if you just literally took a minute just to explain yourself instead of like him being flabbergasted, and being
flabbergasted, like he can't talk to his wife that he has 3 beautiful children with, and he's just like no, I can't explain it, honey. I'm going to Cleveland for work. Mike can't go. I have to go to Cleveland because he's staying at Mike's apartment and pretending to be Mike. Like it was but this neighborhood's really unsafe right now, so Mike's gonna stay here with you. And then there's a whole subplot like where he calls them and he finds an embarrassing picture and it's just sexual innuendo. And then he comes over there and tries to like sneak into his house and gets into a fight. I'm like, this is so dumb.
All right,
Like,
that part, as dumb as it was, I think
it was funny.
It was funny. That's what it is. I mean, when you have Martin Lawrence being like the fucking cuck, which I think he plays perfectly, he's like, "Oh, you fucker!" He thinks that like Will Smith's fucking his wife right there, and again the fight and like the two goons are like, "We could just go outside right now, just like kill him."
and then the other cops are like right behind him, just like freeze, cocksuckers, get hands up.
Yeah, it's so
yeah,
dumb. I mean, like I just love the Joey Pants of it all. Also, but like the initial scene of Tia Leone calling who she thinks is Will Smith, and then like it's Martin Lawrence and Joey Pants is just like, you gotta fucking like talk like him, like come on, you gotta act like him. And he's like,
even though
okay,
she has
cool."
no idea who he is.
Exactly, like you could just make those normal points, and then they both just start talking to each other, like Joey Pants and Martin Lawrence just going at it each over and over again, being like, what does he sound like? What does he sound like? Do I sound more white? Do I sound more black? Or like, and then Martin Lawrence does that like impersonation of Will Smith. He's like, yeah, what's up, man?
Yeah,
And I just gotta be dying laughing.
and she's like, yeah, this guy Marcus seems so much more smooth than you. And then
Well,
there was the sex fake out scene where they're both on the bed after the shootout at the club. She's like, yeah, doesn't this get you feeling a certain way? And he's like, well, she's like, are you saving yourself for marriage? Like, what is this? And I'm like, I feel like you guys are at the trust point now where you could be like, hey, Mike's the other guy. I'm Marcus. I'm sure you pieced this out because you have like 4 functioning brain cells. Like,
yeah,
like they just kept the lie going on for so much longer than they needed to.
it just overextended out. So we've covered another buddy cop movie before, Lethal Weapon, and I think the thing that makes buddy cop movies work is the chemistry between the two cops. And how do you feel about this compared to Weapon?
Well,
just chemistry.
So it's different
'Cause-
kind of chemistry. Like they both work.
Yeah.
This one is a lot more comedic and a lot more improvisation. Mel Gibson and Donald Glover is a lot more
Dan Glover.
Danny Glover. I was talking to Ryan the other week when I was in Bonnaroo, and he was like, "Yeah, man, you just get names wrong all the time." And I'm like, "Yeah, I do that. That does happen to me quite a bit." Danny Glover, it's a lot more. It's like a forced relationship that becomes a friendship, where this is like friendship off the bat. Like I thought
Yeah.
the first scene of the movie was the best scene of the movie. It was like, oh, okay, all right. Like they're in a Porsche, like they're talking about not getting laid versus getting laid, and then they almost get hijacked, and it's like, oh, okay, like they have skills. Like I get these characters, got it. And then the rest of the movie was nonsense. And like that was just my biggest thing. I was like, it was just like overly contrived. And when I compare it to something like Lethal Weapon, which Shane Black wrote, and it's like perfect mystery, like that screenplay worked so well. And this
Like
one
I
just
saw this
doesn't.
movie yesterday, and the villain already seems forgettable.
There was just Guy. There was Eastern European Guy because Die Hard was a big movie 7 years before this was released. So
Yeah,
what else
exactly.
are what else are we supposed to do? We can't.
We had
do
to go
anything
back
else.
to that well. I mean, we got to find an Alan Rickman type, essentially. I mean, that's what every 90s, early 90s action movie had to have. But back to the chemistry. I mean, like we said, this is a prime example of just why you have movie stars, because they are able to elevate a shitty script. This still isn't a great movie, but it's like we said earlier, this would be terrible if you had like just like no name Fox or something.
Well, Dana Carvey and John Lovitz are no names. Actually,
Well, that'd be
I-
one thing, but like if you had like Steven Seagal and like Dolph Lundgren or something like that. That'd
yeah.
just be
Oh,
all-
yeah. This
just
would
be
be
direct to DVD. Like
we would
trash.
not be covering this movie. That's for sure.
Exactly.
I did catch a bit of A League of Their Own. I hadn't watched that. I love that movie. I haven't watched it in years, and I forgot John Lovitz was in it at the beginning as like the
Oh, yeah.
and he was hilarious. He's like the shady baseball scout for the lady. Like
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was just a little slimy guy. I was like, oh, that's like perfect for John Lovitz, like a little slimy guy. And then in this movie, he probably would have been Marcus, like the guy with a
Oh yeah,
wife
Will
and-
Smith definitely would have been like the cooler one.
Dana Carvey would have, and
yeah.
neither of them are necessarily. They're both sidekick guys, and they wanted one of them to be the front man in this, which
Yeah, I mean,
just wouldn't have
neither
worked. Like
guys.
Martin Lawrence and Will Smith at this time definitely exude a coolness factor that they probably both don't have anymore. We're gonna be honest. Will Smith had
Yeah.
it for a very long time and then lost it, and Martin Lawrence just kind of disappeared like after in the
What's
mid
so funny
2000s.
there's like he took like a brief like sabbatical. I feel like that it was really funny at one point during this movie where like Martin Lawrence was like talking about how like, oh, now that I'm impersonating you, Will Smith, like maybe I try on some of your clothes. It's like that's probably the only time in history of Martin Lawrence could have said that he could try on Will Smith's clothes. Because
Yeah,
Martin Lawrence has gotten real fucking fat since. To the
yeah,
point where they make it a point in like the Bad Boys 4. They're like, Marcus, you're not supposed to be eating potato chips. Like there's literally a gag of him during the fucking action scene, just taking a Dorito, just taking it, just eating. It's like fuck yeah. There's one fucking action scene with one where there's a bunch of like jelly beans that come out that after they shoot it up. He's like, I gotta lick it up.
See that I think I would have enjoyed Bad Boys 4 much more than I would have enjoyed the original. Like this movie makes me not want to watch the rest of the franchise at all.
What the context to watch these movies in are exactly like how I watched Bad Boys 2 last year. You gotta get a bunch of your boys, you gotta be drinking a little bit, you'd be like,
Yeah, I
Oh.
watched this alone on my couch at 6 o'clock. Like that
Yeah.
was not the way to watch this movie at all.
no.
But yeah, I didn't care for it.
How do you feel about Tia Leone? Were you like, she okay? Is she fine?
She's fine. Look, I'll give them. Okay, I'm gonna give the movie props. I thought all the performances were pretty good. I thought the acting was fine. Like it was not an acting issue here. It was a total story. Like it was just kind of hurt my brain a little bit.
Yeah.
Like
'Cause you're, like,
versus
weren't
some.
sure-
No, I wasn't sure. I was just like, what are they trying to do here? Like, is this like, is Michael Bay's first movie? Is it trying to be something more than it actually is? And it wasn't, but it also had that element from the older screenplay in it, and it needed to be cut out and just gutted and just a straightforward 90-minute action movie. Like that's all this needed to be.
Yeah, if it made it less convoluted. I mean, Bad Boys 2, I'm not gonna say it's a great movie, but it just gets straight to the point where it's
Yeah,
just
but
like,
if I was at my cousin's wedding a couple weeks ago, if that was on the TV and we were all watching, Bad Boys 2 was on, and we were all just like, hell yeah. Like I'd probably enjoy Bad Boys 2 a
Yeah.
whole lot more than me sitting on my couch alone watching this movie.
well, it's gotten to the point where even Michael Bay, I mean, he used to be very frank about his whole movies and stuff like that. And he was an interview in 1998 where he said, all right, let's admit it. Bad Boys was a very bad script. Let's just face it. Let's just get it over with. Basically, all we had for Bad Boys was two great actors and that great Christmas together. And that's exactly what we've been talking about all day.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just
all
like-
it has, and sometimes that's enough. This movie made money. It launched a franchise. It launched.
Well, it's
a
like there's
film.
that one scene of them in the gas station, like just trying to get like something. Like one guy pulls a gun on them, and they start arguing with each other, and the guy's like confused, like being like, "Are you cops? Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, are you arguing with each other? What's happening here?"
Yeah,
It's the same that they replay
Or-
in like New Bad Boys.
or when Michael Imperioli, who's like the tire guy that used to be in the drug deal, when Will Smith pulls the gun on his head and just like Martin Lawrence is screaming like, "Oh my God, don't kill him! Don't kill him, Will Smith! Don't kill him! Oh my God, just give him the information he wants, Donnie or whatever his name was." And
Yeah.
then and he was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'll give you the info. Okay, I'll give you the information." I was like, "Okay, that's cute." Like there are little cute moments like that. There was the moment where Martin Lawrence is on the top of the cab and he gets flung off, and then Will Smith saves him in the trailer shot. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
one with Will Smith running with his abs showing. I was like, that's the trailer shot right there. They're
Well, it's
like,
like you can very
they're
much
like,
tell,
ladies, this movie's also for you.
yeah, you can very much tell that Michael Bay himself was just like, all right, like Martin, Will Smith, just like come up with whatever you can for this scene. Let's just make this like interesting. And I'm shocked to find out that Michael Bay would like allow so much impact, but not about that at all.
I mean, I think on your first movie, you kind of have to kind of roll with it, where it's like you have this one opportunity and you have this bad script and you just need to turn it into a winner. And to Michael Bay's credit, he did, and it launched a series of other bad. I don't know.
Well,
Transformers
what's-
sucks.
Hey, hey! Outside of Transformers, what is your history of Michael Bay?
I've seen Pearl Harbor when I was younger. I think I saw
Yeah.
Pain and Gain when that came out.
That's
Like,
supposed to be his good one. Yeah.
that's it. Like I think he's very stylized. I think he's very to the point. I think he makes commercialized movies, which studios love, so he'll always get funded. Like I think he's somebody that works the system. He's somebody that likes hot women, nice cars, and like dudes fighting each other. Like that's just what Michael Bay likes to do in his movies. And that's okay. Like that's okay for some people. That's what some people just want out of their movies. It's just not always what I want out of my movies. You
I
know?
feel you. Yeah, I mean, you have to be in a certain mood to watch Michael Bay. I was in that certain mood last night. I think I had
Yeah,
a
I
drink
was
or two when
not. I was
watching it.
dreading having to watch this movie.
Oh, that's the opposite of you and me because, like I said, I was on this kick where I've been watching. Like earlier that day, I watched Midnight Run, so I was in an action comedy vein. Midnight Run obviously is a much greater movie than this, but still, I was like, all right, let's go. Fuck yeah, I'm gonna watch Bad Boys tonight. This is the exact opposite of last week when we covered Lord of the Rings, and you were so amped. I was like, I have to watch fucking Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah, except granted, one of these is like is revered as the greatest film trilogy of all time, and the other one is Bad Boys. So I mean,
Still. That being said, I do think Lord of the Rings is obviously a better movie. I just think I had a more fun time with it.
that's fine. That's fine. I respect that opinion because I always say
Yeah.
like it's my Children of Men theory where I'm like, oh, that was such a great movie. I had no fun watching it, and I never want to watch it again. Doesn't make it any less a great movie. I just don't want to watch that movie anymore.
Exactly. There's some slasher movies that I love watching, like Friday the 13th, because they're just dumb fun. And there's some horror movies I watch where I'm like traumatized right now. What did I just watch? So
I'm excited for Nosferatu. That's all I know. All right, it's time to decide who the star of the show is. It's time.
I am a star. I'm a star, I'm a star, I'm a star. I am a big, bright, shining star.
All right, Tommy, who is the star of the movie? I want to say Joey Pants just out of love because I liked his performance the best and I liked his character the best, but it's probably Will Smith because it launched like one of the biggest movie stars we ever had.
Yeah. I mean, just to talk about his career and to this point, I mean, I don't think he really had like that much of like this is his first starring role really. And after this, he had straight after this, next year Independence Day, year after that Men in Black, then Enemy of the State, and pretty much then we just had the Will Smith career that we all know. So definitely him. But my personal choice, I think Martin Lawrence was funny here. Or you're saying part of the duo.
Will Smith brought the cool factor. Like it was there in the a movie called Bad Boys. It was like Martin Lawrence is not a bad boy in this movie. Like he's part of the bad boys, but he's not a you know.
He's the cuck.
Yeah. He's the cuck. And I was not expecting you to throw that one right at me. He's the cuck, and yeah, I mean, listen, it is what it is. I just think in terms of if we're gonna say like who launched from here, it was clearly Will Smith. While Martin Lawrence got some comedic roles and had other movies come out, but he did not end up having the career Will Smith had. And I think if I had to say, it would be him. But my favorite performance was Joey Pants, so that's who I'm actually going to pick because I didn't fuck this movie. I didn't like it. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
So you're going to go Martin Lawrence?
I'm going Martin Lawrence.
All right.
Ah, are you ready, comedy partner? Waka waka.
So here's my thing. Does Bad Boys work as a Muppet adaptation? No. But I think this movie would benefit greatly from a lot of fourth wall breaks, just kind of like looking at the camera and just like shrugging, being like, yeah, I know this is stupid too. Like I think this movie would be in higher regard for me if it were that.
That's why we need to watch Last Action Hero.
Sure, let's do it. And I did not. It's not going to work as a Muppet movie.
I mean, the fact is, I mean, we had the Happy Time Murders. I feel like we bring this up a lot. The movie we still have not seen. But
we have to cover it at some point.
We have to cover it eventually. I mean, I texted you earlier this week being like, is there a Muppet movie you haven't seen? And I guess I
saw all of them when I was a kid, but
yeah. So I guess if we want to cover the world of Muppets, it's got to be Happy Time Murders.
Oh God!
But I feel like a fun Muppet, like buddy cop comedy, could work, and I couldn't see it work within the context of just like you take everything earnest and except the two leaders. But that's
Yeah,
that's just really
I like, you know, this movie was so silly that I just could see it maybe working, but
and when you see Sam the Eagle as a police chief, I mean, that just works so perfectly.
no, but I don't. I want to keep Joey Pants. That's who I would keep.
Fair,
That's who
fair.
I would keep. All right, Tommy. Review time. Give me your score to 5.
So this movie, like we talked about, terrible script, a little bit too contrived or anything like that. But I think that the chemistry between Martin Lawrence and Will Smith and even Joey Pants throwing in some humors right there makes this movie entertaining. I had a fun time with this. I'm gonna have to go 3 out of 5. I think that I probably would rewatch this again, but mostly probably when drunk. So with friends, but entertaining, like fun little, B action, which I expected.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give this a 1.5 out of 5. I did not. I had a bad time with this movie. I was bored during it. It was just nonsensical. Like, I'm guessing if I watch Bad Boys 2, I'll enjoy more of just like a straightforward story and not this. Like the only reason this isn't lower is because of Martin Lawrence and Will Smith's chemistry, Joey Pants just being in the mix, being Joey Pants. Like that's all I like. That's the chemistry for a winner. But the script that they initially went with was such a mess, and they didn't clean it up. But they made it work. They made it work. It just wasn't for me. It was just nonsensical. I was kind of bored throughout it, which I shouldn't be during a Michael Bay action movie, and it made my head hurt. And that's ultimately why I give this a bad score. Don't watch Bad Boys.
Watch it if you're drunk.
Maybe. I can't confirm nor deny, and I won't ever find out because I'm never watching this movie again.
Fair.
All right, Tommy, any final thoughts before we wrap up this episode?
Fun fact, we have covered another movie by the cinematographer. He also shot Fatal Attraction. So
Oh.
yeah.
So cinematographers histories are so funny to look at because some of them will have like prestigious works that are just like beautiful, and then they'll just
Yeah.
also light like a studio comedy. It's just hilarious. Like it's like
Yeah.
what's going on here?
So shout out to Howard Appleton. But anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. You can follow us on social media at CNETPod. That's on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, occasional thread. I think I posted on thread more recently on TikTok. So Timmy is still there for me. And leave us a 5-star review. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast, really helps us out. It really helps us grow the show. And next week, or 2 weeks, we'll determine.
Figure it out.
But
Yeah.
we'll figure that part out, but we're going to be covering Beverly Hills Cop. We're going back into the world of Jerry Bruckheimer cop movies. The new one's coming out on Netflix July 3rd. So
We got Twister coming out
and
for
the Mask.
Twisters. And the Mask, that's right, we did cover that. Yeah, so we got July all figured out, nestled in there. Thank you all so much for listening. We will see you next time.